All right, good afternoon, everyone. We are tracking some severe weather making its way through parts of southern Illinois right now, mainly right along the Ohio River. And really, this is a tornado warning that has been issued for Cairo and far southern Alexander County. It does include Mound City, and also Mounds itself is kind of on the north end of this. And again, new tornado warning that has just been issued for this storm that does include those areas. So we are keeping an eye on this pretty closely. I've got a storm chaser that's out there right now. In fact, I'm not going to show you that video. I don't really have the rights for it, but I'm keeping an eye on that, and he's kind of keeping an eye on it as well, and continuing to watch that make its way to the north and east. So what we're looking at here is actually just to the north of I-57. So this is I-57 here. And it's going to be crossing over the Dogtooth Bend area right here. So that's the Mississippi River. And this is then going to be crossing very close to the north side of Cairo. So if you've got friends, you've got family in Cairo right now, or maybe they're traveling down I-57 and maybe heading towards Sykeston or something along those lines, give them a call, give them a heads up on this one. Again, we do not right now have a tornado on the ground, but we're pretty close to it, as there is a pretty decent wall cloud with this one. And there is quite a bit of rotation as well. So this is going to continue to move off to the east. And this storm not moving very quickly. And that's going to be the case for a lot of these storms this afternoon, as they do not move super fast. Now, this is going to cross over into briefly Missouri. And then it's going to cross back into Illinois. And then it's going to cross into Kentucky. So I know that there's sometimes folks that are like, oh, well, it doesn't really... tornadoes, they can't really cross the river, but they definitely can. So again, north side of Cairo, you need to be taking cover, as this is a tornado warning again that runs until 5 p.m. for those areas. Okay, so this is a radar indicated tornado warning, but again, this is quite a bit of rotation that we've seen on this. Notice they continue to kind of carve this back. So again, in a pretty rural area right now, Dogtooth Bend area is extremely rural. In fact, and then again, it will cross into Missouri again, and then cross right back into Illinois. So this is going to track just to the north of Cairo, and honestly, it's going to be right where the exit ramp to Cairo is really where this is going to be heading, it looks like. Okay, so very close to that here, probably over the next 10 minutes. Just a pretty slow-moving storm, though. So this is going to take some time to make its way eastward, but it is something that we will be keeping an eye on. I know for the rest of you may be asking, well, what's going on? What we've got going on? And what we are continue to track here this afternoon is, I'm trying to get this pulled up here correctly. Continuing to track quite a few showers and thunderstorms really across the area. I will say that this is the most severe thunderstorm that we have across right now, southern Illinois. And we do anticipate that a lot of these storms are going to stay fairly far south, pretty close to the Ohio River. And the reason being for that is that we have had quite a few showers, some rain from time to time throughout a good part of the afternoon across the rest of southern Illinois. So that is helping to stabilize the atmosphere. Okay, so that is going to likely limit the chances and the risk for additional severe storms to develop further north. At least that's our hope here through this afternoon. Again, it's right now just about, it is right now at 4:24 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, June 26th. So if you are just joining us, that's what we are looking at. So tornado warning for Alexander County, and then it's going to move over into Ballard County in western Kentucky. So Barlow over towards La Center. And you may want to give a heads up to folks if you've got friends or maybe some family as well right now in Paducah. Maybe they work there. Maybe they're shopping there this afternoon. May want to give them a heads up that this thing is just to their west a little ways, and it will be heading that way in just a little while. All right, zooming out quite a bit, notice elsewhere we've got some rain around, and that has really helped to stabilize the atmosphere across much of southern Illinois. We continue to watch. This is just steady rain, good old-fashioned rain, honestly much needed rainfall for much of southern Illinois. But you'll notice on the southern side of this, not as much rain through the boot heel of Missouri, not much rain for western Kentucky. So we really think here through this afternoon the areas that are most likely going to be dealing with against severe weather are likely going to be areas that are pretty close to the Ohio River. I'll go ahead and circle that and kind of what I'm thinking here through the rest of this day, but I'm kind of thinking right down in here is really where we are likely going to be dealing with if we see any more severe storms develop. That is the most likely area. They did issue a tornado watch just a little while ago, and I don't want to discount that watch. But again, I think the most likely area is going to be near the Ohio River. So zooming this out, I'm going to clear off the radar here and kind of show you guys a couple of things as well. We are going to take off the radar, and I want to show you those are the warnings. And then here's the tornado watch that's in effect. All right, that tornado watch does run until about 10 o'clock tonight. But once again, I really feel that areas maybe, we'll just say south of 166 is going to be the most likely area that is going to be dealing with severe weather this afternoon. Okay, so the most likely area that's going to be dealing with severe weather is likely going to be south of Route 146. Further northward, if you're in Carbondale, if you're in Marion, I'm not going to say that the chance is zero, but the chance does appear to be quite a bit lower in some of those areas. That's at least what we're expecting right now, is that the chance for severe weather there will be a little bit lower, okay? That's at least the hope here as well throughout the rest of this afternoon. I'll try to answer a few of your questions and see if we can try to answer some of those. I saw that some folks asking about Johnston City. Again, and Johnson County I see as well in there. I see Carbondale. So again, you guys are further north, okay? So we're thinking that on the farther north side of things, it's probably going to be a little bit more tame. And I think that the risk for seeing severe weather in those areas is lower as well. So that's kind of what we're thinking right now through the rest of this afternoon. Again, the main reason that I'm on air here with you and talking with you this afternoon is primarily to deal with the risk here for a couple of stronger storms that are making their way through Alexander County, pretty close to the Cairo area. Okay, so that's what we are dealing with here through the rest of this afternoon. Trying to get this set up here for you guys so I can pull some of those in here. So again, we'll go back in on this warning. I'm going to go back over to the Storm Chaser video I've been kind of watching here. Still not really seeing a tornado currently on the ground with this storm, so they are leaving it right now as a radar indicated warning. You can kind of see we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings. That's what the orange boxes on the screen are. Probably easier just to clear off and go straight to the tornado warning there. So that's the orange boxes that you see there on the screen were severe thunderstorm warnings. This is the tornado warning that does include, again, most of Alexander County. Let's go ahead and at least the southern tip of Alexander County. Let's go back and plot radar on. Not quite as defined as maybe it just was a little while ago. See if we can get a couple updates there. So as this was kind of crossing over again, what this area is called right here is called Dogtooth Bend. And if you actually look here, we can back that up just a little bit. So this was when the warning was issued, was right there. So that's decent rotation. But notice here the last couple of radar scans kind of falling apart a little bit as we start to make this way further eastward. So this, again, is going to be passing north of Cairo. There's Route 3, and there's 37, and then I-57, of course. So eventually, as this kind of gets, again, north side of Cairo, pretty close to where the exit ramp is, and then possibly just northward over towards Mound City. And then it's going to be making its way across the river and into western Kentucky here in just a bit as well. Hey, latest update, maybe a little bit better in that one there. Still kind of developing. So what we're seeing, I think, here is watching this thing recycle just a bit. So again, right in here, there's Route 3, there's the exit ramps. This thing is going to be coming right over top of the exit here shortly, is what we're watching. So again, if you are just joining us, north of Cairo, southern part of Alexander County is what we're watching right now. Crossing over I-57 here very, very shortly. It's right now right at Route 3 and I-57. Railroad tracks kind of run right down through here on the right side of the highway, on right across the interstate there. So that's going to be making its way very close to those railroad tracks. And then there's also there's a couple of businesses right here on the highway. I know that there's a lumber mill right here as well. I believe Farrow Lumber is the name of that. That's going to be pretty close to where this is as well. So tornado warning again runs until about 5 p.m. Just gives you an idea of how slowly these are moving. Do I think I'm trying to answer some of the questions here? I seeing some of those pop up as well. Do I think that we are going to see Franklin County in there? No, I think this is going to be well north of that and probably going to stay well north of that for a little while. That's what we're thinking, okay? We really do feel like this is going to be pretty close to the Ohio River. Again, what we're seeing, we'll have to watch some of these little storms trying to develop back here. There's a couple here, but they are moving into an atmosphere that really has been worked over with a lot of rainfall across southern Illinois. And that really is helping to stabilize the region a lot. So at this point, we really are expecting this all to remain pretty much confined to areas near the Ohio River. That's what we're thinking right now. Yep, I would say so. Eliza asking about Harrisburg. Again, kind of looking, I'll go back out again on everything. Let's go ahead and put it all in motion and kind of show you everything we're watching. I know we've had a lot of folks kind of join on here just a little bit later as a result of that. But so atmosphere up in this area, basically north of the Ohio River, we're thinking it's pretty stable right now. And it may be a pretty big challenge to see any type of severe weather develop in that area. I'm not going to completely rule it out, but it seems like the risk overall is pretty low. We're really thinking right now that if we see any severe weather, it is likely going to be confined to areas that are most likely near the Ohio River. So again, we're really talking about far southern Illinois near the confluence, like where we have the tornado warning currently, but then also where, let's see here if I can pull this up too. There we go. And areas then further eastward. So, yep. And then probably over towards, say, Paducah, Metropolis. Could see maybe if this holds together and continues on that path, we could see it make its way further eastward. Notice a couple more storms developing also a little further to the south. So again, there's quite a bit of shear in the atmosphere. Little guy right here back into southeast Missouri. So as that continues to push eastward, we could also see additional, maybe some stronger storms develop. The rotation is not nearly as strong as maybe what it was just a little while ago on this storm. So that's actually some good news there as this continues to push eastward. A lot of really low hanging clouds on this one. There is still some rotation. In fact, I'm watching the Storm Chaser video right now. There is still some rotation, though, on that, right in that area. Okay. Yep. There is a small kind of weakly defined funnel cloud on this one currently. So again, crossing over the interstate right at the exit ramp. We'll come back to that here shortly. All right, so zooming back out, kind of again going through everything that we've been talking about here through this afternoon. We'll continue to keep an eye on that storm. So if you are just joining me, I'm going to turn off radar here real quick, and then I'm going to turn back on the tornado watch. So we do have a tornado watch that is in effect for areas of southern Illinois that are highlighted here in yellow. So that does include Alexander, Franklin. We'll start northward. All right, Jackson, Williamson, Saline, Gallatin, Hardin, Pope, Johnson, Union, Alexander, Pulaski, and Massac counties in southern Illinois, all under a tornado watch until 10 p.m. this evening. Okay, that is they took this watch pretty far north. I kind of wish they would have kept this maybe a little bit further to the south, because I think it just adds a lot of anxiety for areas that are probably not going to see much in the way of severe weather. What we are tracking is continuing to be a tornado warning right in Alexander County. We've also got, we had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that were also plotted in. It looks like maybe those are not in effect anymore. But also we continue to watch as the storm moves eastward. And again, this is likely going to stay pretty well defined close to the Ohio River. We've got a few more storms around that are out there. There is quite a bit of wind shear in the atmosphere, so that's something we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on. But areas further north, we do think that the threat is probably a little bit lower. And I definitely think that areas, say, from Mount Vernon over towards Sparta and West Frankfort, McLeansboro, and that does include, I saw a comment in there asking about Texaco. So Tammy asking about that. I know you guys were hit really hard back on Sunday, and really thinking of you guys. But it does appear that the threat will likely remain pretty well south of you. Jeremy saying that there's no audio on YouTube. Guys, can you let me know if you can let me know if you can hear me? I think on Facebook it should be fine. On YouTube, if you are on YouTube and watching, let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. If not, I'll start it and restart that one. Ashlyn asking about Murfreesboro and the main area concern tonight. At this point, I'm not thinking so. Again, really thinking we're going to be focused further to the south. Yeah, hey, Mary, I'll answer your question. So, did he just say that they watch for Franklin County? No, that watch does not extend into Franklin County. This watch is to the south of that. The watch does include Carbondale, Marion, Harrisburg, Shawneetown, Murfreesboro, and then areas south of that. Okay, that's what we're thinking right now, and that's where the watch is currently in effect. Jeremy, if you cannot hear me on YouTube, you may restart it and try it again. It looks like other folks can hear. Yep. So again, and watch these little storms. There's a little storm developing here as well, just north of Marble Hill. But just notice it kind of struggles to get going. And the reason being for that is just the atmosphere is so much more stable across much of southern Illinois. But also watch these little storms that are developed. This one's going to be interesting as well once he gets a little further eastward. So, Carol, I know you're under a tornado warning right now. Watch this little storm, though, south of Bell City, Missouri, Van Duzer, and then westward of Haywood City. That also would come pretty close. Track would pick that pretty well east. And so there is a little boundaries trying to lift back northward. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But again, areas that generally, this is 146. It cuts from Anna to Vienna over towards Golconda. Right now, we think at least here over the next few hours, at least the main threat is going to stay to the south of that. Yep. Sarah asking about Marion. Rain. Honestly, most of what you're seeing here across the northern part of this is going to be all rain. Marion, Carbondale, Goreville, Vienna right now. Anna, you guys are just dealing with some rain. There are some flash flood warnings. Clear water. If I clear radar off here again, we go back over and show. So these are the flash flood warnings that are in effect. Let's see if I can fix that just a bit. Now that's wrong. Get this fixed here. The wrong color up there for the warning here. I'm going to fix that real fast. Maybe. See if that works. So kind of in the green there, it's blinking just a bit. That's actually the flash flood warning that's currently in effect. That's probably a little bit better. But yeah, so we are continuing to see some flash flood warnings that are issued. So there's been some areas that here over the last couple of hours and even late last night have picked up just a tremendous amount of rainfall. And some of you I know are asking, well, what are you talking about? Because I know you kind of missed out on the rain, but I promise you there are some folks out there that have really picked up a tremendous amount of rain here in just the last couple of days. Some of that fell yesterday, and then some of that fell today. All right, so those are the flash flood warnings in effect. So it does now include Alexander and Pulaski counties in there. Looks like the National Weather Service, again, the rotation kind of weakened on that storm. So they've actually cleared the tornado warning off of that storm. So currently, guys, we have no warnings in effect for us here in Southern Illinois. Again, we'll keep an eye on a couple of these storms, little supercell trying to develop there south of Haywood City. But let's see here. Looks like, Jeremy, they are hearing me on both Facebook and YouTube. Haven't had the issues with that. All right. So what I think I'm going to do, we don't have any tornado warnings in effect. I just wanted to jump on because of that one. So what I'm going to do right now, because honestly, I think things are we'll have to watch a couple of these little storms developing. We've got some rain that's going to be around for quite a while this evening. And again, I know that there's a lot of folks that maybe have outdoor plans. I know I was talking to folks in Johnston City about their fireworks tonight and some concern related to the weather. And unfortunately, it's kind of playing out where it's pretty wet as well. So again, we're going to stay with you. I'll continue to watch showers and thunderstorms. If there's another tornado warning or if there's some concern, I'll try to beat that warning just a bit and hop back on here. But I think in the meantime, guys, I think I'm just going to honestly hop off of here if that's okay with you guys. And then we'll go from there. And again, if there's any more tornado warnings, any other concern this evening, this is one of those nights where, again, we may have a stronger storm or two that kind of move through. It's possible that we could have a brief spin-up tornado. Can't rule it out. There's possibility we could have some isolated damaging winds as well. Again, main focus in some of our southern counties, so far southern Illinois near the Ohio River, we're going to have the best odds of seeing some of that. Further north, the risk will get lower and lower. On the flip side of that, I think that for the most part, this is just not one to get too worked up about. The risk overall is fairly low here in our region. So, if you've got storm anxiety, just kind of ease a little bit. I know that this is not going to be a repeat of Sunday. I can tell you that. We've been talking about that most of the week, that the ingredients are a little bit different today. And in addition to that, the risk is a little bit different. But again, we'll continue to keep an eye on these as we go through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. In the meantime, stay dry. Have a great night. Stay safe. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, as much as I love hanging out with you guys, that means that we've got warning. So fingers crossed we